The pitch is looped towards shortstop. Petroselli's back. He's got it. The Red Sox win. And it's pandemonium on the field.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, brought to you each week by the National Sports Collectors Convention. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time and get the latest news from the greatest experts in the sports collectibles world. You can watch us on the Great American Collectibles Facebook page, as well as YouTube, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. And now your hosts, award-winning sports collectibles author Tom Zappola and Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petroselli.
Hello, America. How's everyone? Look at this cast of characters. 4 really, really, really homely-looking individuals and one queen in between all of us. Doesn't get any better than that. My name's Tom Zappola. Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show. My paisan, top right corner with the ugly baseball cap. Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petroselli, my partner in crime. Hi, Rick. How are you?
Hello, how you doing, Tom?
We got back last night. I'm tired. I'm cranky. I'm tired. What else?
Well, it's part of the job. No, that's right. You went to visit your relatives. By the way, why do you got that? This is a Great American Sports Collectibles Show, and you got the Red Sox. The last call there. That's on the air, right? That goes on the air.
Wait a second.
Why do you have that?
Okay, hold on.
I claim to fame. I know that, but
right.
Other than that, come on.
I mean, Ray Schulte, Robin Tomasi, the wife of Olympic gold medalist, who, how do you describe him, Ray? And obviously, and Mike Prove, but how do you describe Dick? I mean, one of the greatest Olympians of all time, right?
Well, for me, it's easy. I just say iconic.
That's the word, iconic. So we're going to be talking about Dick Fosbury. Some of his gold medal and some other items are going to be up for auction with Heritage. We're going to talk to Mike. What else? The National. Louis did a great. I know you have a mic somewhere in front of you.
Yep.
You did a great job. We did 2 weeks of national shows. We did a special 2-hour show at the National. First hour was when we got back, and the second hour was last week. Lou, you did a great job. Thanks to all of the sponsors that participated in this show. We had a lot of fun. And Rico, you know those little balls that we had?
Yeah.
You know what I did?
What?
I hired a kid to throw them out to the audience.
Yeah, right.
I swear to God.
You're kidding me.
I didn't hire him. I brought him in, some 12-year-old kid. I had him throwing them out.
Oh, that's nice.
Unpaid intern.
And then our good friend here, Mike Prove, he was sitting out in the audience, and when Derek gave him the go-ahead, how many packs did you guys hand out, Mike?
A few boxes.
Right?
Some baseball cards for the kids to rip, and the adults.
All from
19. A lot of adults asking for those these days.
Oh, of course, right? Of course. What else? It was great to see friends. The best part of the whole weekend was Joe Orlando sprung for dinner for Ellen and I at Gibson, so it was great.
But Tom, there were a lot of disappointed people there, really.
Oh, why is that, Ray?
Rico wasn't there.
Yeah.
Rico,
yeah, right.
He's telling the truth. If I can't even tell you how many people asked, and I
thousands.
Well, I explained to them. I said, "Listen, it's a matter of economics." Rico had the opportunity to do a couple of gigs at Fenway Park, and he weighed what we pay him versus what the Red Sox were paying him, and so that conversation ended pretty quickly.
Yeah, I didn't think of something, Tom. I just this could be a possibility if I'm around next year. Is I can do the Red Sox thing, and then we can fly out to the National, and I can do that too.
Well, you know,
we're a couple of bucks. You don't pay anything here.
We're in Chicago again. You know that. We are in Chicago again next year.
That's a great.
And then
Go ahead,
Tom. His rate has jumped. I mean, I think like 30%. Since the last time I saw him.
After the card.
All right,
And the cards were my card, right? It's going up.
Oh yeah, Pro.
Good time to mention we have the only Rico 1967 tops in a PSA 10 coming up, and that's going to be a 5-figure card.
Just think about when they were manufacturing that. You know, you get the lines and the white around there. They say, "Who's this? Petroselli? Who the hell's he?" Yeah, don't worry about the lines. Who cares? Robin, I'm sorry.
Listen,
I can take it. I'm used to it.
All right, we're here for several reasons. I want to talk about Dick and Prove. I'm going to kind of hand it over to you. Why don't you tell us what you have going, and especially with this amazing memorabilia.
Yeah.
And then Dick, and then Ray, you can give us a little background. Everybody knows about Dick, but you can kind of, give us a little background on. We'll talk about the '68 Olympics and all that good stuff. Go ahead, Pro.
So we were really excited when Robin reached out to us. We've sold a lot of iconic Olympic material here at Heritage, but this is right at the top. The important thing about Dick Fosbury is, that's a name everybody knows, everybody remembers, and it still reverberates in track and field today. That the method he invented, though unorthodox at the time, is the one that everybody uses still. So it was a real game changer for the Olympics, for track and field. So having his medal, the singlet he was wearing, the participation medal also, it's one of the most important Olympic collections that exists. And at Heritage, obviously, we're very excited to offer it. And I got to learn a little something. I thought Dick broke that method out at the '68 Olympics and surprised everyone. But in talking to Robin and reading the book she gave me about Dick's life, I hadn't realized he was perfecting it his whole life. And the '68 Olympics is when he perfected it and won the gold medal. So, it's a story everyone knows, and it's always so cool to see material like that.
I read that. I read a couple of articles on Dick relative to him and the flop. And, I mean, basically, Ray, now, that's kind of like the template, isn't it, for most high jumpers, or is it not?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, that turned quickly. And there wasn't a lot of convincing. I mean, he was, and it wasn't that he actually he set out to do something. He's what, and Robin and I have had this discussion. He was what we thought is a problem solver, and a problem solver will figure out ways to come up against a challenge. And that's, he did that without thinking. And so that's why it's so iconic, because to me, it's more, it's sports, but it's pop culture, because he changed a way people think about an entire sport. And so it's pretty exciting. Robin and I, we just came back from the Olympic Hall of Fame ceremonies in Colorado Springs a few weeks ago. And we got to see some of his friends, Tommy Smith, John Carlos, just to name a Roddy Gaines, a lot of these guys, and couldn't help but to tell stories about Dick, and that's what his book is all about. His book is all about a journey, his life. But I don't know, Rico, you have a connection here today, because it was back in 2018. We were on the Mike Burka's main stage with you. Dick was on there.
Yeah, Dick came on as a guest with us, and he was wonderful. Yeah, I think he was doing a book signing there too, Ray, right?
Yeah, right after Rico finished. Rico had about 1,000 people in his line, and that was on the main stage. And as soon as Rico finished, Dick came on, and we did a book signing. And but I know your paths crossed, and yes. Dick was asking me all about you.
Very nice guy.
He was.
Now I've got a question. Another great high jumper, Dwight Stones, did he use Dick's method also, Robin?
Yeah, Dwight did. So what happened was when Dick won the gold medal, kids worldwide started flopping. But all of the elite athletes who had practiced the straddle for, billions of hours,
Yeah.
couldn't possibly change over. And so it took 2 Olympic Games before the gold was won by a flopper, and that was a Polish guy, Janek, can't remember his last name, but and Dwight flopped. Yes, everybody
I had
flops
it
now,
here.
100%.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Pro.
yeah.
Now you've got 3 items, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So we have the participation medal, which I've never seen one from that Olympics before.
I think we have some images somewhere that we're gonna
And-
Lou will dig up.
It's beautiful, a beautiful design. In addition, the aesthetics, in addition to the significance, and then the singlet he was wearing in the competition, which has been photo matched also. So checking all the boxes there with the provenance from Robin, and then the photo matching, and then we have the gold medal, which gold medals rarely come to auction. Any gold medal.
Amazing.
So when you get one that's from such a significant Olympics, the 68 Olympics is one of the most important games that occurred. And then to have one that is, the seminal moment for high jump. As Robin said, 100% of high jumpers use Dick's method now. So that completely changed the sport. And that medal is, the representation of it. Also very beautiful, like any gold medal is just incredible to see in person. But those 3 items are going to find new homes this weekend when the auction closes. I'd encourage everybody to go check it out at ha.com. The write-up is incredible. The items look beautiful, and we're going to find a new custodian for some Olympic history this weekend.
Let's talk about that Olympics. That was a very historic Olympics. A lot happened at that Olympics. Robin, I'm assuming you were there.
No, I wasn't there.
I was going to say you must have been about 3 years old.
I was a little older than 3, but definitely still a kid.
Now, Dick went to Oregon State?
Yes, Oregon
Yeah.
State.
And what, after track life, what happened? I mean, did he coach? What did Dick do after his track career was over?
So Dick was at Oregon State for engineering, and they told him, "You're flunking out, so you have to pick if you want to be an engineer or you want to be a high jumper."
Sounds like Rico.
So yeah, so
That's true. Yeah.
he stopped jump. Well, he didn't stop, but he didn't compete. It wasn't his focus. He stayed in school. He got his degree, and he worked as an engineer here in Sun Valley, Idaho for a long time. And then around 2000, he started getting involved in the Olympic family and the Olympic movement. And he became the vice president of the USOPA, which is the U.S. Olympians Alumni Association. And he did that for, I think, 12 years, and then he became president of the World Olympians Association, which is the umbrella of all the national associations. So it's all the Olympian alumni. And then he came back and was president of USOPA. And he was really instrumental in getting the P. It was USOA, but then he added USOPA. He and Muffy Davis worked on that and encouraged USOC to add the Paralympics also. So he was then he went on and became county commissioner. He coached. He had track camps all over the country, and he coached countless kids. When he passed, he was the county commissioner here in Blaine County, Idaho. So he was busy every minute.
It's something. I was just thinking, the Olympics now, those who win gold medals, and even before, they get a lot of publicity, and afterwards, they do, I think, very well, with companies that they become spokesmen for. And I don't even know if there was anything available in '68.
No, they were amateurs. They couldn't take anything. Dick has been a lifelong Adidas. He was friends with Adi Dassler, and he got shoes. That was it. He got a full ride at OSU, but there was no money changing hands. So he had to get a profession.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And that was an era where professional athletes had off-season jobs too. So,
like me. Yeah, like yours truly, like the first 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that.
Beautiful medal. Wow.
We've talked about that, Rico. I mean, at that time, it wasn't just you, it wasn't just Dick. I mean, I remember Richie Hebner was digging graves in wherever it was, Norwood or Sudbury. I mean, everybody had side jobs. Rico, when did that end? I've always wondered that. When you start getting the big bucks?
Yeah, in 76, 77, when a free agency came about. When the guys who were stars, when they started getting a higher salary, it also helped, the guys, the number 25 on the roster guy get a little bit more money.
Yeah, I always thought it was when they broke the $1 million mark. I mean, I remember back then, Dave Winfield before the $1 million contract, he would come to the ballpark, and then once that cracked, he'd start coming with a briefcase, and all of a sudden now they had a business mentality. But once you crack that 1 million mark, you kind of made it at that point.
Prov, who was the guy? Louis or Prov? You guys are. Who was the guy that back in? Was it? I want to say Andy Messerschmidt, but it wasn't.
76.
Who was the guy that really turned it all around with the negotiations? A player, I can't remember who.
Well,
it
Guy
was.
from Baltimore.
Yeah,
Kurt Flood broke the reserve clause.
Kurt Flood. It was Kurt Flood, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Kurt
wasn't
Flood.
the left-hander from Baltimore at that time?
I don't remember.
They wouldn't give him a contract.
Jim Palmer? No.
No.
Where?
The other guy, the lefty. Yeah, boy, I feel at home here. Nobody remembers.
I don't remember. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have, I don't know if you're aware of the Great American Collectible Show AI basketball tournament. I think you're on. So this week we have a hell of results because for whatever reason, the way it worked out with the pairings, we have the 2013 and 2014 San Antonio Spurs playing the 2012 and 2013 Miami Heat 1 year apart. So that's going to be a hell of a game.
Ray, look how excited we are.
Hey.
Who the hell are these teams?
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Ray's in the house, Robin's in the house, and Prov. They're here for the whole hour. We've got some other stuff to talk about. I want to get into the actual auction, some of the other items in the auction, talk a little bit about the Foz'S. And Ray, we're even going to talk about Ray Schulte Sports. Ray, I don't understand why your boy is not the manager of the Yankees. I want to ask that question when we come back. Hang in there. We shall be right back.
I'm getting coffee. Mother.
I'm Rebecca Curry, a two-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucyslovebus.org for more information.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Now look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
Okay, we are back, and in the house with us is the beautiful Robin Tomasi, wife of...
You're going to say Rico.
No shit. Wife of Olympic gold medalist Dick Fosbury. Mike Prove. Hey, Mike, I got to tell you something. This year, again, you were voted best dressed at the National.
That's not that high of an honor, actually.
For the fourth year in a row. For the fourth year in a row. And obviously, Ray Schulte from Schulte Sports. Hey, listen, before we get into the tourney, Ray, young guy, man, you know, Donnie Baseball, he's got to be the next manager. What's going on there? Why isn't he the next manager? Why don't they fire the clown that's there and hire him? Very simple.
Well, I know if George was here, he'd be there. No question, but it's a little different situation now. And you know, Cashman and
Hal.
he's got to make some tough decisions. But
where is Don? He's up in Toronto. Where is he? I can't remember.
Yeah, he's the bench coach for the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays.
I'm actually going down tomorrow to see him in Miami if it's not flooded.
Well, you know something. We're hoping that the Red Sox overtake the Blue Jays. It doesn't look really promising, but there's a possibility. What are they? 5 out, Rico? I think they're five out.
Yeah,
all right.
5.
Yeah,
5.5. But it's close.
Yeah. It's time for the GACS, Great American Collectible Show, AI all-time NBA basketball tourney, powered by Danny, the baseball savant, and sponsored by our good friend Paul Borges and PB Collectibles. Go to PB Collectibles for your favorite cards. And remember, if you have a bitch about this great idea of mine, call them, not me. Okay.
I'm nervous.
This week's game, it was a good game. We had the 7th ranked 2012-2013 Miami Heat against the 2013 10th ranked 2013 and 14th San Antonio Spurs. Now, both of those teams met in 2012, I believe. And it was a great game. And the Miami Heat, I'm sure, yeah, Miami Heat won. But let's look see what happened here. The hypothetical matchup involved two of the greatest teams of that decade, both whom faced each other in the NBA Finals in both 2013 and 14. 2012-13 Miami Heat, they were led by LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and they had a record of 66-16. Their strengths, they dominated with their small ball lineup and exceptional athleticism, which challenged opponents defensively. LeBron was at the peak of his power, winning his 4th MVP award. Now, their weaknesses, lack of size, making them vulnerable against teams with strong front courts. Looking at the 2013-14 Spurs, they had a record of 62-20, led by great players like Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Kawhi Leonard. One of the best teams in history with incredible ball movement and shooting. They had excellent depth, and they also had Danny Green and Patty Mills also playing important roles. So these two teams met in the 2013 finals, where the Heat ultimately prevailed in a dramatic Game 7 series. However, in this particular game, the 2012 Heat, with a peak LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, even though they were a formidable opponent, they could not match the play of the San Antonio Spurs. And in a close game, the final score was the Spurs 121, the Heat 119. Good game.
Very good, yeah.
Do you even know who LeBron James is? You know, Rico, with all due respect, Rico, if you talk basketball with Rico, he doesn't go past Satch Sanders.
Hey, I knew him real well.
I'm sure.
But no, it's 68. I'm saying, where was I in 68? No, I was a basketball fan. What, are you kidding me?
Well, you were a basketball player.
Yeah, but the Celtics, I like the Celtics, the old Knicks. When I was a kid, they had, what's his name there, from the Globetrotters?
James Naismith.
No.
Sweetwater.
No, it was before that. Sweetwater Clifton.
Yeah.
That's way before that.
I'm saying, he was great.
Think about what he just said, Pro, and Ray, and Robin. Sweetwater Clifton. You would think that it would be Earl the Pearl Monroe or Walt Frazier.
Sweetwater Clifton. It was.
Well, I got to tell you guys something. I don't know if you know this, but if you know anything, and I know Rico's going to get really pissed off at me, but do you know anything about Rico's basketball background?
Yeah. Come on, will you?
Pro, do you?
Who is it? Come on,
We've
I want
talked
to talk
about it
about.
before. We've
Ray,
talked
do you?
about it.
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
anything
you know
about
he
it.
does this. He does.
Ray,
Get it.
Rico Petrocelli, my partner,
Oh.
was first team All City in New York, and was offered basketball scholarships to Duke, Maryland. Where else, Rick? UCLA.
And North Carolina
North
State,
Carolina
Illinois,
State.
all the schools down
He
there.
was first team All City. With Billy Cunningham was on that team.
Yeah, Billy.
I mean,
So
that's quite the accomplishment.
It
in New
really
York
is, Rick.
City.
I mean, are you kidding
I
me?
mean,
And
if you,
right?
you know, if you do that in some tiny city, who cares? But New York City, I mean, and that was the hotbed of basketball talent.
And Ray, of course, you know why he chose baseball. It's called.
Well, what do you want? Like, man, they got to live, you know.
It's called a $60,000 signing bonus.
65.
And that did it. So,
Listen, I knew I was going to make it in basketball. You kidding me? The guys were really starting to get, really big and all that. So I said, hey, 65, I think I can. They were giving out bonuses. We had a kid out of California who got 125,000.
Wow!
And it was
back then that was
before
big.
draft.
That was what was that? 1962, 63?
Yeah, right in there somewhere.
Yeah, big.
No, I always thought of you as a superstar in every sport, Rico.
Football. I played semi-pro football.
You should see him with the high jump. It's amazing.
I get a half an inch off the ground. I'm lucky.
And he uses a ladder.
So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
Come on,
I want to get back. I want to get back to Robin and Dick.
Yes,
and
nice.
the auction. The medals, the gold medal, Prove. I mean, if you look at the entire landscape of Olympic medals, that's going to be in the top 5 or 10, I would think.
Yeah, and from an auction perspective, the most important gold medals are the ones where that win has had a lasting effect. And that's right where this is. It changed the sport. In fact, talking to younger people at the National about it, we had the display with the Fosbury collection and the photo of him going over the bar. Talking to some of the younger collectors there, they didn't realize there was a time when people didn't use the flop to go over. That's how lasting the impact has been, that people don't even remember the method before that, the straddle, or some did the scissor method. But that long-lasting effect, and I can't imagine it's ever going to change. It's the most effective way. Dick was an innovator, and this was the crowning achievement of that innovation. The aesthetics for a gold medal are just off the charts as far as talking about something to display. This is, the best pieces that we sell, we call them museum pieces. Those are pieces that would have a place in a museum. And, the collecting audience is very lucky that one person is going to get a chance to become the custodian of that piece of Olympic history. And it's something that as soon as you say the name and whose it is, it's instantly recognizable. You don't need to say more. But with Dick, you could say plenty more. I highly recommend the book Robin gave me that he wrote. It is.
I read that book years ago. It was a great book.
Robin, did Dick think that? Did he have an opinion, or was it possible that? I'll get there. No,
he always had an opinion.
So was one method a little easier or tougher, or how did he look at the strategy of how to get over that from the new the new jump?
I have a film of him when he's probably the earliest film I have when it's recognizable as the flop will evolve from it. He's probably about 12 years old. Wow. And his dad built him a high jump in the backyard. That's and amazing. He just couldn't get all his, he was really gangly and tall, and he couldn't get all his limbs over. And the line he always used was, I knew I had to get my butt out of the way.
Yeah.
So, he was just, it was graceful and beautiful when he went over backwards, but they made him do the straddle, which was the opposite. It was really gangly, too many knees, too many elbows, just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
So,
Robin, my question is, did Dick know after the 68 Olympics that everyone was going to switch over, all the young ones, did he realize?
He did, because they started contacting him. He said he would get calls all the time from kids, not the adults who are already jumping, but from all the kids who are really excited and they all wanted to learn. And so, he was aware.
It's amazing.
Robin, what about at the collegiate level after the Olympics? Did Dick ever go out to different colleges across the country to work with kids in the high jump, or whatever?
No, I don't think, not at the college level, but he did. He did camps for high school kids.
He did.
There's a huge high school track meet called Simplot. Simplot are the potato people here in Idaho.
Yeah.
And they put on a track meet for high school in Pocatello. And Dick was the chairman. And 2,500 kids, national records always broken at the games. And he was the chairman. So he would invite Olympian friends and they would, sign autographs. And then he started a camp associated with the Simplot Games. So he had kids from all over who he had coached over the years, and they would come up to him and say, Mr. Fosbury, I did what you suggested, and now I'm jumping, whatever, 6 inches higher.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Hey, Ray, you have a relationship with a lot of Olympians now, and I know that's building. Is it the Hall of Fame that you're working with a little bit?
Well, thanks to Dick. Dick was the one that kind of brought me into the mold. And I'll tell you a quick story. A mutual friend introduced me to him in Idaho, and he was full scale with the engineering. And then my friend said to him, his friend said, hey, you should talk to Ray. He can help you. And Dick, it was amazing. He just said, listen, I've got this business. I really want to run with it. And so, when I'm ready, I think I'll talk. Well, it was like a few years later, he goes, listen, I'm ready to get back in the community. And what he meant is that, his business was transitioning, and now he wanted to get back into being a former athlete. And so from that point on, it was, you could see that he was the best ambassador you could ask for the sport.
Well, he was also, he was very affable is the word. Plus, he was a good-looking guy. Just articulate. He was.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Right. He was really like a poster child for that.
But he traveled the world. He was doing things for us in Europe and in Australia and Mexico, and because what he accomplished resonated with so many, from a technological company to a pharmaceutical company, his mindset. And so it kind of snowballed. And it was so funny because Dick never thought of himself as a big hotshot. He just thought of himself as somebody who did something that he felt was the right thing to do. But he did have the wherewithal to kind of go through it and stick to it. That's the one thing I think he had going for him, that he you could say anything to him. It was his mindset, and if he was going to go through it, he was going to do it. And that was the one thing I admired about him the most. And what Robin said is true. If there is a bunch of kids or the opportunity to do something cross country and it entailed kids, he was there. Man, awesome. He was there.
We are chatting with Ray Schulte, Robin Tomasi, and Mike Provenzal from Heritage Auctions. Before we take a break, Rico, why don't you earn your money and tell our listening audience about That hurts. That really hurts.
No, just kidding.
How about our friend Charlie Perino and the gang at JRI Cards, Reek?
Well, if you want to have a blast,
I would love to.
All right. At obtaining some great modern and vintage cards, you got to check out JRI Cards. Paisan Charlie, the Iron Ripper Perino, along with Money Marco, the Dollar Girls, and the JRI gang, they give you a chance to participate in opening a graded, unopened, and sealed fresh wax or cello. I say cello.
Is it cello or cello? Probe, will you please educate him?
It's cello. It's cello.
That's what I thought.
You said cello. What do you think it's Italian?
You're hearing things. Or cello pack of your favorite sport or non-sport favorite. It's easy. You buy in, Charlie opens the pack, and you get a pack fresh card. It's that simple. As a matter of fact, if you pull that special jewel, the guys at JRI Cards will even have it graded for you on the house. Whoa. Featured in the LA Times, ESPN, and USA Radio, JRI is the hottest card pulling show on the internet. Charlie and his staff make it fun, entertaining, and enjoyable. With his collection of hats and sound effects. And don't forget,
does have them.
Yeah. Excuse me. Would you like to read this? Or
No, finish.
And don't forget,
I digress.
that JRI donates a part of their proceeds to various charities. That's JRI Cards. Check out their exclusive breaks and events that everyone is talking about. They're always digging up cardboard treasures. For a great hobby experience, go to JRI Cards. You know why I was laughing, Tom? I said, I think I need a charge in oxygen for the finish. This is a book here.
All right.
They're getting their money's worth.
That's right. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to come back with another little segment that we have that we've been doing for years called On Deck with Rico, where our viewers and listeners, somebody will send in one question a week, and we will ask Rico that question, and Rico has never not answered the question until somebody asked him the question. Rico, tell us about your 0 for 32 streak. Other than that, he's been good. We're going to take a quick break. Hang in there. We will be right back.
My pacemaker.
I'm Rebecca Curry, a two-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petroselli. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucyslovebus.org for more information.
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
If you're a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on their tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
Okay, we are back, and in the house is Rico Petrocelli, Red Sox Hall of Famer, my partner, Ray Schulte from Schulte Sports, Robin Tomasi, the wife of Dick Foz'S, great Olympian, and our good pal, Mike Paravenzal. I love that name, Paravenzal. It just rolls off your tongue. From Heritage Auctions. We got a few more things to talk about, but it is time right now for our segment, On Deck with Rico, brought to us by our good friend Brian Dwyer and the great staff at REA Auctions. Don't forget to get your bid in by going to robertedwardauctions.com, and I believe he has a new website also. He's got 2 websites. That's Robert Edward Auctions for extraordinary results and extraordinary service. Rico, this week's question was submitted by a John Sikora. And here's the question. You ready?
Yeah.
This is like nothing.
I'll be quick.
Rico, what size bat did you use? And what are your thoughts, though? I like the second part of the question. What are your thoughts on today's bats?
Yeah, well, I used a 33.5, 34.5 bat. Then when August came, we might have even made it a little lighter.
Was it like a U1? What was it, a U1?
Well, that was later on. U1 was, same, right about the same, 33, 34 ounces, 34 and a half. I like the 34 and a half length. Yeah, so I couldn't reach the outside pitch with that half inch. But anyway, the bats of today, you notice they're all different colors. They're all,
they're different. They're different composites too. I mean,
well, I don't know if what's allowed, whatever's allowed in the major leagues, ash, maple, whatever it is, they use that we're allowed to use. But there's a lot of different bat companies, so I'm not sure if each guy signs with the bat company, like I did with Hilrick and Bransby, and I got that phonograph for a price. So
hold on, let's take a step back.
Come on.
No. So today, when they get a bat deal, Ray, you're into that field. What kind of dough do they get? Like Roman Anthony, he signs a bat deal. What kind of money does he get?
I tell you what, it's even changed since 80s and 90s when I was really, really active back then. But yeah, I'm sure they've got something that's a little bit more tangible, cash.
Like maybe in the millions or whatever. Now Rico, on the other hand, got himself a gorgeous record player.
Stereo, yeah, really nice cabinet made out of plastic and metal. But
Rico, even in the 80s, I think a lot of the guys got golf clubs anyway.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had a choice.
Well, you got golf clubs for something else, didn't you? Oh, that was a Tops thing.
Tops, yeah, it was wonderful. I wish I had them now, though. They were H&B club. Was it H&B? I'm not sure, but they were wood. I have them now. But the question I have, and you guys watch like I do, not for anything, but these balls are going 440.
Oh, the guy you got to ask, the guy you have to ask is Blassie. Blassie's the guy that can answer this question.
Jiminy cricket, I know they're bigger and stronger than a lot of guys I played with, myself included. But geez,
Lou,
some of these ridiculous.
Louis, are they juiced, Lou?
Well, since Major League Baseball took over manufacturing the balls, we don't know.
Yeah,
I have to think they want a little bit of input in the game. They want a little bit more excitement. So I'm guessing they're a little hotter than they were certainly in the 60s and 70s.
Oh yeah. I know, but there's so many home runs and the batting averages are down, which that's fine. But the guys are you see, because I got MLB and network, and watch different games, and there's two batting averages: 198, 200, 212, this. But 22 home runs and 70 RBI. So that's
you saw a couple of years ago, Rico, when they were going in April, they were going halfway up the wall in center field. This is about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was right before Major League Baseball took it over. Those balls were really hot at that point.
Yeah.
So Rico,
because I think they want to get out of the 3 true outcomes. I think they want a little bit more balls in play, but they like the homers because chicks dig the long ball. Everybody.
Yeah. Not only the commissioner, he wants the long ball. We know that.
It's also a shift. The shift added a lot to that too. They'd rather go for home runs than spray the ball to the opposite field.
That's a good point. And
they want to hit the ball in the air.
Thank God they get rid of that. I was rallying for that for years.
I agree with that. I still have a problem, though, with the guy on second in extra innings. That really infuriates me.
I love that.
Oh, God. Rico, just one last question about that. So when you played in the dead ball era, was it much more difficult to hit a baseball then?
That was very difficult. Actually, the ball would be like an egg after you hit it, and it would roll. When it rolled, you got to hit. It would wobble. It's just, I wonder what was going on then. But nowadays it's different. I tell you, I love the game. I like the players of today. I think they get a bad rap from the old timers that they don't work as hard. I think they work too hard. These kids, they work hard and they love the game. So let's stop it. But it's hard for a lot of the older guys.
I agree.
All
right. I want to talk to you about our good friend Tom Ruggie and the staff at Destiny Wealth Management. If you are a card or memorabilia collector, have you ever thought about managing your collection long term? Well, I know Rico certainly has.
Oh, yeah.
I take a look at Rico's personal collection, and through the advice and expertise of Tom Ruggie, Rico has learned that you need a professional to help categorize, evaluate, and eventually put a liquidation plan together with dealers or auctioneers to sell your collection. Most importantly, you need to be aware of the tax ramifications when you liquidate. Although myself and John Mallory have begged Rico to include us in his will when the time comes, especially with his 40th home run ball or his 1967 World Series glove, I'm sure he's going to go to Tom Ruggie Wealth Management Group instead of us. And don't forget, Ruggie Wealth Management will also handle all of your investment needs. That's Ruggie Wealth Management, the go-to company to manage your collectibles decisions. Go to destinywealthpartners.com. Tom's a good guy. Do you know Tom, Mike?
I do. Good guy.
Yeah, Tom's a good guy. Tom's a good guy. All right, so we have a few minutes left. Michael, talk some of the other items in the auction. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so everything's open for bidding at ha.com. It closes this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. As we discussed, we have the FOSBURY collection, which is really incredible. And we have a few other collections. We have the Dan Fouts collection, the Hall of Fame Chargers quarterback. And another one that was very popular at the National is the Macho Man Randy Savage collection.
That was awesome.
Yeah, consigned by his widow.
I have just a question about that. I'm not going to ask you who the consigner was for that, but
it's his widow.
It was. Okay, it was. Now, I don't know if you know this, but before we part, Lou and I, Lou, why don't you tell the story? People have said that we killed
we're responsible for Randy's Macho Man Savage's death.
This is breaking news
right
here.
Yeah, Lou and I were
together on the day that he died, and for some odd reason, I was doing Randy Macho Man Savage drops. Totally random, out of the blue, throughout the whole show. He died during the show.
During the show, he died.
During the
Well,
show.
I'm going to make a call to the Department of Justice.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up too.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, the platinum auction, of course, we have a lot of very, very high-end items like Fosbury's Olympic gold medal and the Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant dual logo man, which is now at $6.2 million.
Wow.
But there's 1,400 items in the auction, so there is something for every collector in there. I cannot afford Babe Ruth's 1923 World Series watch, which is included in the auction, but there are things in there even I can afford.
Well, that's a good point you're mentioning, because every once in a while I'll get an email or a text from somebody saying, Heritage, they just cater to that collector that can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is absolutely not the case, because I have purchased stuff from Heritage.
Yeah,
so
we're still awaiting. We're still awaiting your payment on that.
You're breaking up.
Collections asked me to mention it, but yeah, everybody loves to talk about the 6 and 7 figure items, but we have items for every collector. In fact, every Sunday we have a weekly auction that launches that runs 2 weeks. It's every item in there pretty much is under 2,000. So, it's fun to talk about and look at. Mickey Mantle's 1960 game worn jersey that's photo matched to the All-Star game, but very small group of people can afford a 7-figure shirt. But it is
very
fun.
Cool. Just a couple of reminders before we say goodbye. A couple of weeks, Rick, you are going to we're both going to be down in Newport. You're going to be doing a signing. I'm going to be grabbing a free meal from you guys at PB Collectibles.
What's the date?
I think it's the 6th of September. And then we are also, I believe, going to be broadcasting from the Philly show. Or not that I think they're still putting that together. And I think that's about it. Hey, with that being said, Robin, wishing you the best with the auction. Robin, I have one question before we leave. When I met you, when Ellen and I met you, the first thing I said to Ellen is, she looks like an athlete herself.
Yeah.
Are you a runner? Are you a runner?
I played everything.
You did?
I was a skier. I grew up skiing. I grew up in Vermont, and I skied from the age of 3 on.
That's great.
I said, man, she looks like an athlete. So
as opposed to you.
That's a good point. Very good point.
No, but that's great. It was great. It's great meeting you, Robin.
That's
thank
good.
you. Thank you.
Really nice.
Ray, we'll see you down the road. We love chatting with you. Pro, say hi to the boys. Good luck to the auctions. Say hi to Derek. Say hi to Joe.
Say hi to
everyone.
And to what's his name? The kid from New York who should be not from New York, but he should be the manager. You said of the.
You really do have a hard time remembering.
Oh
Yankees.
God, he doesn't remember my name.
Listen,
I'm talking about Yankees.
Sam Senior. No, I was just. I grew up. I had to be a Yankee fan, or else I get a beating from four of my brothers.
Rico, the guy's name is Don Mattingly.
Don Mattingly, I know. I always say, hey, Don, give him our best, please.
All right.
We're pulling for him.
Yeah, by the way, Ray, we want to get him on the show. See what you can pull off for us, will you please?
Oh,
all right.
A request.
All right.
Yes. All right, with that being said, we love you guys. To our viewers and listeners, as always, if it wasn't for you, Rico wouldn't be here. No, all kidding aside, thank you so much for the support. We love you guys. And with that being said, happy collecting.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.